banks of the St. Johns River, there's a good look inside Everbank Stadium here in downtown Jacksonville. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Now the kicker, that's Cameron Dicker, set to get us started. And off we go from Jacksonville. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And we've seen the flashes throughout his 4 years in the league, but he's coming off an injury-riddled season where he only played 10 games. Has to eliminate the costly turnovers at 52 in 4 seasons, and he's hoping the new coach Liam Cohen can unlock his untapped potential, and it has to happen right now.
Now ETN to start the drive. Oh, what a juke into space. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
On first down, right back to ETN. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a first down.
Facing 2nd and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Deion Henley there on the tackle. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. Lawrence will throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 25-yard line.
Jaguars, first down. First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Toss left side for ETN. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 44 yards rushing for him here. What a start to the ball game. It's 1st and goal.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. And it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early. No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
On play action, Lawrence. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Allen. So no gain on the play. And this brings up a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
A 24-yard attempt.
And his kick here is good. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. Well, they moved the ball well there on the opening series. Running game was in sync. They were knocking on the doorstep, but ultimately, Charles, they'll have to settle for the field goal.
Well, they certainly were moving it well, and give this defense a ton of credit. Finally dug their heels in and forced the field goal. That's wondered in his game partner. Will this offense look back at this drive and think to themselves, if we'd gotten 6, we'd be in a better spot?
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And when you see Justin Herbert, all you think about is he's easily one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL. He can make every throw, knows how to think his way through every game, and now the regular season success needs to carry over into the postseason.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. That is Joshua Hines-Allen getting in there to bring him down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
In motion, the tight end. Herbert. He's got the tight end. That's Gadsden. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now it's Herbert. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
14 yards. And the Chargers 1st down. A gain of 14. 1st down, Los Angeles.
When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the 1st down there, help them relax a little bit.
Trayvon Walker makes the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here's Herbert. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Here's 3rd and 3.
Back to throw here, Herbert.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 20-yard line. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
That is Josh Hines-Allen getting in there to bring him down.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end, because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Pass hauled in by Johnston.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
You can do one of two things after a penalty. You can hang your head, or you can get mad and redouble your efforts. I think we just saw the latter there as they stopped him for no gain.
The line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Justin Herbert looking to pass. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Joshua Hines-Allen
just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, a 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chargers have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead.
And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do, because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
And for the extra point, Cameron Dicker.
He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Lawrence now off the bootleg.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. A give running right, ETN. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 58 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
2nd and 6. Herbert now.
They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
Okay, some people call it the shuffle pass. Some people call it a shovel pass, but this worked really well. And it's hard to do in the NFL because of the big bodies that tend to clog up the middle of the field. But the execution was excellent there, able to get it done and get upfield for big yardage.
Throwing quickly, and Herbert completes it.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. They'll run with Vidal. A strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Chargers, first down. A gain of 13 yards. First down, Chargers.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Again, it's Vidal.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been a running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
On the give, it's Vidal.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd and 2, first down marker at the 8.
Now a toss play, it's Harris. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Chargers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Herbert, quick pass out wide. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
A run, here's Vidal.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate. They end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling him for a loss.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
He'll try again.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. A 3-yard touchdown run. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away.
Able to slither by.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Travis Etienne and the Jags offense set to take over again here.
And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
From the shotgun, Lawrence.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Washington. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Lawrence.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Here's Herbert.
Johnston on the quick slant.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Out of the gun, Herbert. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now this one finds McConkey.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 29-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another 1st.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
On the ground, it's Vidal.
And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
59 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Herbert off the bootleg. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. But looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
A shotgun snap for Herbert. That one complete to McConkey.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert.
He'll try and do this himself.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown.
Justin Herbert.
A 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Chargers are able to stretch out their lead.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Extra point try now from Dicker.
And it's 21-3. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. As the offense returns, let's take a look at running back Travis Etienne.
Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield and get the ball in his hands in open space. And just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Open man right side, Myers. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Second down and 3. Now Lawrence. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Lawrence will throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Second down and 4. Lawrence. That's caught left side. Myers with it. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 42. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. Complete to Washington. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Halftime coming up. Let's get you downstate an hour or two to Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. In motion goes the tight end. Here's Herbert. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. but they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now a handoff up the middle. Vidal.
A good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
A gain of 14. First down, Chargers.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now it's Herbert. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
36-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's 24-3. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 23.
They'll look to ETN to start things out.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
They go play action with Lawrence.
No, bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
And the LA offense ready for this next possession. They've got the ball in a great spot here, already inside the red zone following that fumble recovery. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They'll try the left side. Vidal. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Josh Hines-Allen there on the stop.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Herbert. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown.
Ladd McConkey from 3 yards out. And the Chargers are able to capitalize on the forced fumble by turning it into 6 points. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far, and that's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Jaguars 3.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You trail them by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard in doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try and play free and natural.
And this will be a Jaguars first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
Defensively, they were in the 3-4, and that O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has the two defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them. That creates a natural bubble inside where they sprint upfield, take on the inside linebackers, and if the back hits it fast enough, there should be space to run.
Benjamin St. Juste there on the stop.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Open man is Myers.
Only able to gain a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's Lawrence. Going quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
The Chargers offense and Justin Herbert getting set for this next drive. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Charger drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On third down, Vidal. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
He only needed about a foot there, but there was nowhere to run.
Yeah, almost felt like he was trying to get a bigger play. He knew he only needed a short amount of yardage, but instead, trying to find something bigger to pop, sometimes you just have to take those dirty runs, pick up the yardage you need, and start over with a new set of downs.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 28-yard line.
Lawrence going to fire it out wide, complete.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. And he'll get it right back to Washington.
9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
Gain of 9 yards. That's good for a Jaguars 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
On play action, Lawrence. He'll drop this one off with ETN.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down.
A lot of ground left to make up, obviously. A lopsided contest, and we're already in the 3rd quarter. And they won't get it all back in one play or one drive. That's cliche, but it's true, Charles. If they can just maybe get plays like that and get a little momentum built, they can get the scoreboard a little closer.
And can you add some blinders to the cliche, meaning keep these guys from looking at the scoreboard because that doesn't help them at all right now. Their focus needs to be on finishing every drive with points and playing mistake-free football from here on out.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's Lawrence to throw.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Just what they needed, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
Now Lawrence to throw. That is caught.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdowns to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Will go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Lawrence, now this is ETN on the draw.
And he will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And that's also all for this third quarter of play. Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. This offense so far on third down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Now Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's ETN.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun, Lawrence. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. 4th down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
At their own 27. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he stopped immediately there.
Antonio Johnson makes the stop. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are. And let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They'll try the air now with Herbert. And this one finds McConkey. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. That'll put him close to 100 yards receiving. He's at 98, and he's got a first down.
Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Herbert off of play action. His pass caught at the 4. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Here's Herbert. His pass caught at the 4. Touchdown, Chargers. A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chargers have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the fourth. Oh, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point up and good by Dicker.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. On 1st and 10, it's ETN. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Looking to throw on 2nd down.
Lawrence.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
That's caught by Munn.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Straight ahead, ETN. But he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Going quickly here to Thomas. Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
At the 16-yard line.
Now Lawrence.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Denzel Perryman picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Washington.
And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Big fourth down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on fourth down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it was all capped off by Jacoby Myers on the touchdown reception.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Chargers offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not, and I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport. There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just got to give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I want him out. They tend to leave him in.
It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll keep it on the ground. Vidal. And he's going to be met at about the 43. They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
On 3rd down, Vidal. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Lawrence.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Washington. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That's a gain of 6.
So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And this not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours, right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer Tim Caron said, leave your watches on East Coast time.